for the treatment, the surgical treatment, the main method is liver, okay? But the problem is when we decide to do the surgery, because it's very important when we decide the time when we do the surgery, because if we do surgery too early, the follow-up of the patient for children is very difficult, and we have many disadvantages for them with many complications like infection or lose the suture, etc. And what about your opinion?
Yes, thank you. The opinions. Actually, it's very difficult to follow up the patients, especially when they were children, because when we decide to surgery, every examination, every checkup, we have to anesthesia to take out to take out the suture loose, and I have some patients post operations and they can come back because of COVID and they have problem with loose sutures, and that's make the infection to the graft, and the graft is destroyed. It's very pity because at the beginning the graft is very clear, but after that we lost it. But we have no choice. So normally with the small patients, I will follow up very carefully with the refractive problem, and to prevent the amblyopia if I can. Sometimes I cannot do anything because the patients have a big tumor, and we can measure the refractive for the patients and not correct it with the glasses. Sometimes it's very difficult, but sometimes it's work very well, because I have some patients and when I try to give them glasses and they feel comfortable with this, and then the treatment amblyopia is get well with them and the vision is better. And then after that, when we decided to do keratoplasty, and continue with the glasses and treatment amblyopia, and the acuity can develop very well. Normally we wait as we can do about 6 or 7 years old. I think it's enough. It's a good age to do surgery for the patient.
Okay, thank you very much. Does there any question or comment? How about Dr. Cho? And I noticed in your department sometimes you also visit some patient with cornea removed in children.
Thank you everyone for the very interesting presentation. And like you, I talked with Dr. Thủy that before every doctor in my department could do the demoid, but after when you have we developed the graft of the cornea, so now we less to do because we have not more experience to with the cornea incision like you, and so we send to the patient. But the problem that you said that is for very follow up, very carefully the refractive, but it's very difficult in the patient. And some patient, because now you collect the patient, so I don't know what about the amblyopia after surgery, but in the clinic I saw if the patient had no problem of the refractive, like very happy, fortunately for the patient, the limbal dermoid not affected refractive. So like your first patient, he is over 20 years old, but no amblyopia, it's only myopia, it's not defect of the dermoid. But I I saw some patient is a very high astigmatism. So that is the amblyopia anisometric amblyopia. So that is very difficult to treat the amblyopia. So that's why I don't know we surgery earlier or later is better for the patient. So it depends on the patient. So but now. All of you see the better of the cosmetic. Before I always advise of the patient is only we to do the flat of the of the tumor. It's not disappear the white, but now you see after the have the cornea graft, you see it's very clear and like the normal. Before we have got it. Thank you. Yes. So
Thank you. You're welcome. Actually, one of the most reason the patients come with us, even the patient is very small, but they recognize the difference with the normal patients, the normal children, that they feel unconfident. And one big reason is they require we do operation because of the problem about the connective. And normally, even though the acuity the vision is not better post operation, sometimes it's even though less than pre-operation, but the patient normally feel confident, feel happy with the result about the connective, because normally they have a normal, look like a normal eyes.
Okay, thank you very much. Any question or comment for Dr. Nhung? No. And can I ask you one question? It's some patient, I know it's a top patient, they very interested about cosmetic after surgery. But after cosmetic surgery, for example, post patient, they still have a scar in the cornea. Have still whitening in the area with the debris before. So do you have any solution to or treatment for the whitening in the cornea?
Yeah, the cornea, thank you, Dr. Sir. If we only simple excision the tumor, we can take out all the tumor because go deep the trauma of the cornea. And normally is the reason why we do DMK lamellar keratoplasty for the patient. We try to take out all the tumor. So when we put the graft onto the hole after take out the tumor and continue treated by medication after that. Normally, if the result is good, that is the graft is clear. But sometimes the graft is rejected, so it's not clear as we want. But the cosmetic is sure is better than when they have a tumor in the eyes.
Goes better after surgery. Yes. But there's some patient, they still have for example, white color is the limb. So, if for example, sky is the cornea.
Yeah, the scar, but the scar is not easy to recognize by normal eyes.
Yeah.
As you see, because it's the scar. This scar is very different with the scar of the inside the cornea.
Okay. Any question or comment about the sun?
So for the liver damage, we saw the patient sometimes fortunately, it's not so common. I think we will have to discuss on the treatment. The treatment for this disease, I think it's only surgical management. And on the surgery, we have to pay attention to two things. The first thing is the energy current of the dermoid. But after surgery, we have the pseudo tissue. It's the first thing we have to pay attention. So that's why we have some time we have to do the liver conjunctival autograft. That means stem cell graft. Yeah, to make a barrier on the liver to prevent the pseudo tissue. The first thing. And second thing is if we can remove totally the tumor or not. If we do the totally tumor, we have to do the lamellar graft, corneal graft, like Dr. Yung said. For the lamellar, deep lamellar corneal graft, we have to more, it's another story. We have to more attention, we have to take care of patients more carefully when they come back to see us under the general anesthesia. We can check the graft, we can check the suture, check everything. It's very complicated. But otherwise, if we do the conjunctival liver autograft, it's more easy. It's more easy in the taking care of them. So the third one is we have to correct the astigmatism after the surgery. I saw the patient. Their parents very happy after the surgery. The first thing they interest in the aesthetic for their children. The first one, they very happy after we remove the dermoid tumor. But sometimes some parents ask us about how to correct the astigmatism. For me, correct the astigmatism after dermoid removal is very difficult, and the result is not so good. We have to refer the patient to the refractive department. Yeah. So that also think about the dermoid tumor. Then I agree totally. I agree with Dr. Yung said that we have to choose the time when we can do the surgery. Maybe 4 years old or 5 or 6 years old. If the liver damage is small, we can wait for a long time, more long time. If the damage is so big and the abnormality maybe happen, we can do earlier. So the only thing I want to discuss now is the liver desmoid. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, any other question, comment? No. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Yu, for your presentation today. It's very interesting and helpful for Dr. Yu. Next session is OCT for the episcleritis and scleritis resident here. We will speak.
Good afternoon, Professor Sun and everybody. Today I'm Wu Minh, a resident doctor. Today I'm talking the topic anterior segment optical OCTA and OCT in the evaluation of episcleritis and scleritis. Episcleritis is often self-limiting with idiopathic inflammation, whereas scleritis relate to autonomic dysregulation. The symptom of episcleritis is occurs an acute onset and mid-pass and resting or the scleritis of the central ear subacute onset, several pains and pain with eye movement. Physical exam for episcleritis is middle facial and went with the feeling area green drop and scleritis is the facial and not went with the feeling green drop. In anterior segment fluorescein and ICC have been sought to produce distinctive pattern in episcleritis and scleritis, but its value is limited by the invasive nature. UPM and ASOCT are limitations with the tissue technology, including the lack of acute definition of the different tissue layers. OCTA is a non-contact imaging system that detects phase variation in reflectivity to detect vascular flow, blood vessel in retinal, choroidal, and optic nervous condition as the degree and depth of vascularity for episcleritis and scleritis are potentially different. We conducted a pilot study to evaluate the feasibility of using ASOCT in conjunction with ASOCT in evaluating scleral inflammation. ASOCT imaging of a case of anterior diffuse scleritis. The methods diagnosis and classification episcleritis and scleritis. The patients were ASOCT evaluate facial density index and ASOCT scleral thickness measurement. The result in the three groups, scleritis, episcleritis, and normal eyes. There were sympathetic association in 3 cases of scleritis, one granular nomasis with polyangiitis on SLAP27 relay, and one ACNCA relay vascularitis. South composite image indicating the facial density at the conjunctive epithelium, conjunctival episcleral complex, and the episcleral and scleral complex for diffuse episcleritis, nodular episcleritis, diffuse scleritis, and nodular scleritis, and normal eyes. Both comparisons reveal significant difference between post-episcleritis and scleritis, whereas the control as on the 3 layers. Comparison relay any significant difference in ASOCTA between episcleritis and scleritis at the episcleral and scleral complex. The post-hoc analysis revelate significant difference in the tissue thickness between the control and scleritis at conjunctival epithelium, but not for control virus episcleritis or episcleritis virus scleritis. At the conjunctival episcleral layer, particular or oversight hyporeflectivity was seen in AB sclerosis, where area the hyporeflectivity appeared to more continued, thicker, and nodular form of sound, most with the tissue thickness. After AB scleral complex, the different facial density index between AB sclerosis and sclerosis there was statistical significant difference in the mean total scleral thickness between control and sclerosis, but not between control and AB sclerosis, or between AB sclerosis and sclerosis. The distribution with AB scleral inflammation, the degree of vascularity is great filter in all the anatomical length, resulting in the higher facial density index value seen in both AB sclerosis and sclerosis. The greater vascularity detected in the AB scleral complex and a higher amount of edema seen in the conjunctive and AB scleral complex. With the sclerosis, suggests the find may potentially be useful in the different into condition. Higher measure thickness, segment total, and hypoeffectivity if into the sclerostoma, scleral edema, and separation of collagen laminar suggest sclerosis. In conclusion, this study is to evaluate novel ASOCTA system and to assess feasibility and value in imaging the vascular network in a patient with scleral inflammation. This technology may potentially be utilized in a general ophthalmological setting to help the different type of scleral inflammation. The future progress prospective in a study with range sample size are needed to evaluate the role of ASOCTA in such patients. Thank you for attention.
Okay, thank you very much. So any question or comment for the team?